Okay. Do you want to welcome Doria or me too, or whichever?
I can. So Cyndi and I are so excited that all of you have come to see us on Nurse Talk. We have a special guest later in the evening, Megan Hall from South Georgia. Cyndi and I started this in mid-January, and it's something that we had prayed about, thought, how can we reach people and talk to people about this technology? Also from a nurse standpoint, I'm going to allow Cyndi to share, well, she's going to share some housekeeping for our evening. And then I also want Cyndi to share her field of nursing and how she found out about ASEA or the redox signaling molecules and how it's impacted her life.
Okay. First of all, we will do a little housekeeping. First of all, we'll do our disclaimer. So redox molecules do not treat, cure, diagnose any type of illness or disease. It just gives the body what it needs to help itself heal by supplying these redox molecules, which thereby increase cellular communication in your body. So with that, we're also going to mute everybody as we start, and we'll ask that you don't unmute until we get to the end of Megan's story, and then we'll allow time for questions, and you can raise your hand at that point and we'll call on you and just kind of keep it orderly. Also, we're trying to find a way, we bought the license or secured the license, I guess, for the redoxnursetalk.com to do this on tonight. So we're trying to also be able to put this on redoxnursetalk.net. So we're trying to connect that piece and figure that out. So it may not be available there tonight. If someone wants a recording, just put your email in the chat, or if you have one of our contacts, you can reach out to us and we'll send it to you afterwards. But hopefully we'll get that up and going soon so everybody can access that whenever they want to. So yes, I am a nurse here in Nashville. At the moment, I work in the field of hospice, seeing patients, which kind of is a challenge for me because of the fact of this technology. I would love to share with them, but I cannot because of the work conflict of interest. Some patients may be past the point, but I feel like this could always help somebody in some point. So when I came across this, I had just moved to Nashville in 2019, and a friend of mine had posted some little teaser on LinkedIn. So I reached out to her to ask her what this was about. And prior to that, I had started down this long journey of looking for alternative ways for help because I had struggled with an issue, an autoimmune challenge, and I had to go to the third provider before I got diagnosed correctly. And that was a functional medicine practitioner. And just struggling with how to do things naturally without taking medications and without following traditional medicine. Now, I'm not saying traditional medicine is not important, it is, but there's a time and place for everything. And I don't think the answer to our health challenges is always another medication. So when she explained this technology to me, it was right up my alley. I have tested positive for 4 autoimmune challenges, but at the moment, symptom-free, no issues, no medications. So to me, that's a win. And the energy that it's given me and just better sleep and focus, I will never stop taking this because of the science and because of what I know it's doing and how it's working. And mainly from all the testimonials that we've heard or that I've heard, and we were talking about that before we started today. It's just amazing. And that's why I love doing this, because I love having different guests on each week and hearing their story and seeing how it's impacted them. And so we can just share with everybody. So it's pretty amazing and sometimes very emotional.
So Cyndi, how long have you been on the technology?
3.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 3.5 years.
Okay. Awesome. So, later on after I share, we're going to show a video that kind of explains more about the technology. It's the easiest thing to do is share a tool. We could, share it with you didactic here, but I think seeing it and hearing it visually, you're going to grasp it a lot better. So I've been a nurse for 41 years. I live here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm still currently working because I love nursing. It's a ministry to me. This came across my path from a very dear friend who's a dentist and a renowned dentist here in Georgia. And he just knows I'm open to all kinds of ways and modalities for, just healthy things. And I've always been open to alternative, even though I've been a traditional nurse. I didn't have any health challenges. I really thought at the time it's like, I'm pretty healthy. I eat well. I exercise. I have good, I'm hydrated. I get plenty of rest. So I didn't, like I said, I don't know, maybe this is for me or not. So what I did is I did my due diligence, and, I discovered this book, which is kind of amazing. It's called, I don't know if y'all can see it, Redox Life, I guess. It's a pretty big book. And so I did, as nurses, we like to, delve deep into the science. And I was really excited to see that this technology was non-toxic and it worked at the cellular level. So I thought, I'll go ahead and try it and experience it for 90 days. And little did I know that I realized that I was dealing with some issues because I started feeling better. When I was working as a nurse, 12-hour shifts, 3 days a week, I had some discomfort in some of my joints and my back, and I didn't sleep well and had lots of anxiety, and I just didn't have enough endurance, to kind of once the weekend started and I was off, I just was worn out. So the very first, time that I took the technology, the ASEA Redox, I slept through the night for the first time in probably 40 years. I slept through the night, just a sweet sleep. And then all discomfort in my joints and my back vanished. And I still have no discomfort in those joints. And lastly, I emptied out my medicine cabinet just most recently, and all my over-the-counter medications had expired for various ailments that we sometimes deal with. And thankfully, I don't have to take those anymore. So I'm very thankful to have found the technology. I'm also excited about, and we don't usually show this story, but reach out to the person that invited you tonight and listen to the Genesis story. I think, Cyndi, don't you think
I
after
do.
seeing that, I mean, that's pretty impactful,
It is.
yeah. So
Because when
thank
you can
you.
see the heart of the company and what they gave up to bring this to people, I mean, that's what gets me. And I like to buy a product I believe in, but I really like to buy a product from a company that I know has ethics and a heart for what they're doing. So definitely look at the
Yeah.
Genesis video. And like you said, Doria, there's so many books out there, and we'll go on to the next little video, but there's one called One Disease, the Redox Imbalance. And this is by an author that's not even related or connected with the SIA. There's tons of them, Healthy Life or Healthy Cells, Healthy Life. Haven't finished that one yet. And then of course we have Dr. Osler's books, Redox Matters and Healthy Matters. So these are both great reads. Still haven't finished those as well. I have so many books I want to read, I can't get through all of them. But I will go ahead and start. We're going to show the real redox results, just the breakthrough video. Most of you, or I'll say that, I'm not sure who all's on here. So some of you may have seen this already because we do send this to a lot of people, just kind of introduce them to the technology. But we're going to run through it in case there's some new people on here. It's a 7-minute video just to kind of give you the basics for the technology. But there's so much more out there if you need or have more questions. But let's start with that. Let me share my screen. Yep.
Hello, my name is Alan Noble and welcome to RailRedoxResults.com. On this website, you have access to lots of videos of real people sharing real results that they've experienced using ASEA's advanced redox signaling technology. You can simply browse through the videos or pick a particular subject that is important to you. However, if this is your first introduction to ASEA, then allow me to give you a brief overview so you can better understand why people are experiencing such amazing results. ASEA Redox represents a cutting-edge health and anti-aging technology, a new category in science that for 2 decades science had declared was impossible. A technology that many experts are calling the single greatest health science breakthrough of our lifetime. A great place to start is to get clear on what ASEA Redox is not. It is not a vitamin, a mineral, antioxidant, exotic juice, essential oil, or CBD oil. In fact, this technology goes beyond nutrition and ingredients, and yet can impact your health at a depth that no other supplement has ever come close to achieving. For many people, ASEA Redox is the missing link to better health and vitality. To grasp this breakthrough, you must understand that your body is the most complex communication network on Earth. Every second of every day, your cells pass tremendous amounts of important information throughout the body. Any breakdown in this communication, in this signaling, and you cannot achieve your full health potential. A simple example, your home goes on fire and you call the fire department. They have the fire truck, firefighters, fire hose, everything they need to put out the fire. However, if you don't have a good cell signal, they don't get the message and your home goes up in flames. Well, it's the same in your body. If your cells can't signal, then little else matters. ASEA Redox is the world's first redox signaling supplement that harnesses the power of the same redox signaling molecules that your body uses for this critical signaling process. This astonishing technology with two delivery systems, the ASEA Redox drink and the topical gel, Renew 28, has been validated by third-party independent science, and thanks to multiple patents, there is nothing else like it in the world. In a recent independent 8-week study with Doria Laboratories, a leading genetic research lab, it was found that drinking ASEA Redox could increase important gene signaling pathways by up to 31%, impacting 5 major areas of health: immune function, inflammatory response, cardiovascular and digestive health, as well as hormone balance. So at this point, let's take a listen to what health and medical professionals are saying about ASEA's redox signaling technology.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants. And the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're helping that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. And you can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries, but now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. You know, I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
So as you can hear, ASEA Redox truly is being hailed as the most significant health science breakthrough of our lifetime. And it's not just health. Casual athletes, all the way to Olympic athletes, are experiencing improvements in endurance, strength, and recovery, beating personal bests and breaking documented world records. In a recent university study, mice drinking ASEA for only 7 days ran 29% further to exhaustion due to significant metabolic shifts as their body started to burn more fat as fuel. And I'm sure you've heard it said that seeing is believing. Well, this same technology, when applied to the skin, results in a healthy, clear complexion, tighter, younger-looking skin, while dramatically reducing wrinkles, stretch marks, cellulite, and many other signs of aging, all while using the body's natural renewal processes. I want to thank you for taking some time and watching this brief overview. I would now encourage you to explore some of the other videos featuring people that I've had the pleasure of interviewing over the last year or so. Real people sharing real redox results. This is Alan Noble thanking you for your time today, and bye for now.
You're muted, Cyndi.
Sorry, I did all that for nothing. Okay, anyway, go back and check out the website, look at the categories and search. Doria and I have met well, I won't say most, a lot of the people that have testimonials in this website. So they're amazing. Doria, I will just turn over to you. We have an amazing speaker tonight in Megan, and I will let you tell us a little bit about her, and then we'll hear her story. And then afterwards, we'll have some questions. And also we may talk about our new product launch from yesterday. Doria, if you want to talk about that after Megan and everything.
Sure. So first of all, I forgot to mention about the disclaimer. So, you know, what you heard in the video, this is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or any disease or medical condition. I know there was a question in the chat. They wanted specifically to know what the condition that Cyndi was dealing with. And so this is not, you know, this is not like a drug. You know, most drugs have indications for certain ailments that people have. This is giving the body what it needs. You know, when you're, you know, when I came in, I was 62 years old and I was at a deficit because these molecules are made in your powerhouse of your mitochondria. And so, you know, you can develop, you know, certain conditions because you're lacking that communication between your cells. And as we all know, we have at least 72 trillion cells in our body. It could be in your brain, your kidney, your heart, you know, anywhere in your body. So it's a lack of communication that's happening. So if you give your body what it needs, it will heal itself, no matter what, you know, may be going on with your body. So we just want to emphasize that we don't speak on, you know, medical conditions because this isn't what this is intended to do. It's basically a bioreplenishment, just like if you were getting, if your blood count was low and you had to get a transfusion, a blood transfusion, you're just replenishing the blood system. So just want to say that. But like Cyndi said at the end, you'll have an opportunity to ask Megan, you know, some questions, and we'll allow for that. So I met Megan. I've actually heard her, you know, what the beauty of this company is, like Cyndi alluded to, it's like a family. And Megan is, you know, she's a Crossline, and I was very honored to have her come to a Super Saturday that I had in December to share her story. And so Megan has been married to her wonderful husband, Greg, for almost 15 years. She said the Lord has gifted her with 4 children, ages 13, 10, 6, and 19 months. She lives in a small town in South Georgia. And, you know, I was so honored to have her. She drove 3 hours to come up to give her testimony that day. She also homeschools her children. And she has a master's degree in early childhood education. She's taught you were a 4th grade teacher, correct? All right, for several years. Okay. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to give you the floor, Megan. I basically want to know, how did this technology of redox cross your path?
Sure. Well, thank you for having me. And yes, I as I look back and I thought about how did I even know about ASEA, and I come across so many people that don't know about it, and it's such a gift. And so I'm glad we're able to share on here, and hopefully there are some new people and we can share with others. But I was following an Instagram influencer who actually talked about ASEA quite frequently on her stories on Instagram. And so I was pregnant at the time, and I watched her, and she had given it to her little ones. She drank it while she was pregnant. But it never really connected or clicked that it was the time for me. But 3 months postpartum with our youngest, had a little 3-month-old baby, and I watched a Q&A on Instagram with this woman and her husband, and they just answered questions about it. And I thought it makes sense when you hear it's such a simple yet so complicated product, because it makes sense and it works on so many different things, as you mentioned, so many cells in our bodies. And I loved that. So I was like, I have tried so many things. And going back just a little bit, I had an experience going through chronic illness when I was exposed to mold, and just really, I think my toxin burden had just reached its limit, and I got sick in 2019 and really walked through that with a functional medicine doctor, and was doing a lot better. Obviously got pregnant and had our 4th baby, which was such a blessing. But I knew I did not want to end up back where I had been that year, because it was very, very difficult. And so I talked to this influencer, and she said, oh, just call Dr. Maureen. She's everybody, a lot of us know her. And so she had me call her. I talked to her and ordered that day. I was ready to go. I knew I wanted to try this, and started drinking it. And she told me kind of how to get started. And immediately, well, first I was like, not so sure about the taste, but I had been warned that it tastes a little like pool water. So, but I was like, I can do this. I want to try this. So drank it for about a week. And I know it takes different amounts of time for different people, but for about a week, and I started realizing I was having a little bit more energy. And like I said, I was 3 months postpartum. I'm homeschooling my other 3 kids. My husband works very long hours, and I was able to still work out and do all of those things. And I felt good. I felt ready for bed at night, but I was like, this is good. Honestly, in my mind, I was thinking, okay, I want this to work on my thyroid. I thought I want this to work on this specific thing. And so now looking back, and from what I've learned, I know that it really goes to where there's the most priority in your body. And sometimes you may not even see that. And that's what happened for me. So about a couple more weeks, and I started realizing that I was not getting so frustrated when certain situations would come up with my children. And I really could just remain calm in that moment. And this is something I had been praying for years, because as a mom with 4 kids, there are situations that are stressful, and I just thought, I'm just going to have to, keep pushing through, and I'm just going to have to grit my teeth. But no, it was a gift from the Lord to me. And I started just being able to remain calm in those situations. And I told my husband, I said, if nothing else changes, if my thyroid dosage doesn't ever change, the fact that this change has happened in my brain, I said, I won't stop drinking this. I'm going to drink it, and I'm going to share it with people. And I had no plans on sharing it and making it into any kind of business or trying to pursue any kind of business side, but I couldn't keep quiet. So started in that postpartum time, even started getting on the calls. That's where I probably met you, Doria, for the first time, and started meeting these amazing people that work with this company. It was like nothing I had ever seen, and everyone was so helpful and so welcoming. So was able to really kind of learn and meet people and start sharing, and just continue drinking. Now I can tell you about how I started using it for my kids. Do you want me to go ahead and do that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So when our daughter was 6 months old, we went for her well visit with the pediatrician, and the pediatrician said she was in the 5th percentile in weight. And he wanted me to check I was nursing her exclusively. He wanted me to check how much milk I was producing. And I knew I was producing a lot because every time I pumped, there was a lot of milk, but she was spitting up so much. And he was like, he's like, I don't like to give medication to babies for reflux or for anything like that. And he's like, so let's go and see how much milk you're producing, and we'll talk about what we can do. And I was praying that night, and I woke up in the morning, and I just was like, ASEA, why haven't I thought to try this with her? Because I knew it was safe for babies and children. And so I contacted Dr. Maureen, and she got me in touch with the midwife that's on the medical board, Donna Lynn, and she spoke to me about how to give it to her. So I gave her in a little syringe, just gave her the ASEA that way that night. And the next morning she woke up and she did not spit up. And she has not spit up since. I mean, maybe like a tiny bit, but this was like, we had to bring changes of clothes. It was all the time. So I continued to give it to her, and we still do, just because she's got an issue with her hip, and I just want to do everything I can to help her body heal and grow. But it was amazing. It was amazing. And the next pediatrician visit, they said she was in the right spot. She had grown enough that they weren't concerned, and she was not in that low weight. I mean, she still is little, but not dangerous. So then we were like, well, it's working for her. Let's try it for another child. And I have a child that really struggles with controlling her emotions and having fits. And so we started giving it to her. Same thing, just almost instantly noticed a shift. And if I forget to give it to her first thing in the morning, I'll start noticing some behavior issues, and I'll be like, oh, let's go get your ASEA. And so that's been, it's been huge for our family. I can't say enough. I mean, the other 2 children, they come to me. I mean, all of them come to me, and there's a gel, as well, the Renew 28 gel. So any bumps, bruises, scrapes, falls, they come to me. I need ASEA. And my 13-year-old son, some of you have met. He's my little assistant. He's already talking about how he wants to work with ASEA when he gets older, but he loves to share the technology, and he loves to use it to race his friends and see if he can be faster than his friends, because they'll do it without the ASEA, and then he'll drink some, and then they'll do it again, and he'll be faster. So he uses it more for athletics, and if there's a cold or something going around our home, he'll drink extra, because he doesn't drink it every day, but he'll drink it, and it really helps support his immune system. And then my husband, finally, he was the last one to come on board, but he finally had an experience with the gel, and a cut that he had on his nose that was not healing. 2 weeks of putting some ointment on it, it was not healing. I said, just put the gel on it every hour today. Just keep putting it on, just a little bit. And he called me in about 3 hours. He was at work, and he said, it's almost gone. He's like, I can't believe it. This stuff is amazing. I was like, I know. It's amazing. And so now he is sharing. He actually just called me today. He gave a bottle to a guy that came to work at our house. And he's just on fire. He just wants everybody to drink it. So I could go on and on, but it is a blessing for our family in so many ways. And we are so grateful to have found it.
Wonderful. You're a busy mom, and you with your 4 kids and everything. And what a blessing that it was that, you had, discovered that, and to be able to give that to Sophia, and for her, because there's so many moms that, deal with that issue. And for that, so how long did it take? You said you gave her just one syringe full. Like, what was it, like 3 cc's or like
10 cc's.
Okay.
And I gave it to her that night, and then the next morning is when she stopped. And Donna Lynn had told me to do 3 times a day of 10 cc's. So we still do 2 to 3 times a day. The reflux issue, or the spitting up issue, should say, we don't, I don't think that would come back or anything. I mean, she's older now, but we just want to support her body overall. So we keep giving it to her, and we just know it's completely safe. So I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I love
Mhm.
that. Wonderful.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a blessing for you. So you're a mom of 4 kids, and of course you have your husband that's, travels a lot or works long hours.
Yes.
And then you are homeschooling.
Mhm.
And I see you on Instagram all the time. I don't know how you fit this into your schedule as far as exercising. This girl is exercising all the time. And she's also, it's almost like you have a blog that you're reading, it's about prayer, and reading the word.
Mhm.
And so how are you, so I know that you have a passion to share this gift of hope. How are you entwining this into your busy life? I mean, what does that look like?
That's a great question. So with Instagram, it's neat because you can share about the things that you're passionate about. And so for me, it's my faith and leading my children in the Lord. And so I have this page on Instagram, Seek Him First Mom. And so I'm able to share there. And that really is my heart and is ministry opportunity and a way to connect with other Christian moms. So with Instagram, then you have stories. So I share about these products on the stories and just share testimonials. I share what it is, how it's helping us. And so that's kind of how I carve it, into the day, is just if I'm doing a story about, what homeschool lesson we're doing that day, then maybe the next story might be about one of the products. And so it's not easy always. I do need to plan out kind of what I want to share overall. And it takes planning and organization, especially right now because we have a leak in our home. And so I'm at my parents' house. This is actually my mom's office. We're at my parents' house right now, but you can do it from your phone. You can share wherever you are. And I'm even able to share how the technology is helping me with the stress and with, protecting my body, because there was mold in our house. And so I know that it's helping my body do what it needs to do to be protected. So I'm just thankful for all of that. But yes, it's there's a lot to it, but I try to carve it in whenever I can.
So you need extra boost of this to be able to do that. Now, this is our flagship product. So, and you mentioned the gel, which is redox signaling molecules in a gel matrix. So we have a new, which came out last year, called the Cell Performance. So what do you think about, you have a favorite of one of those 3?
I do. I usually have it with me at around this time, is the Mood, Redox Mood. I drink it every night before bed, and I wear, this is it's called the Aura Ring, and it tracks your sleep. And so before I was drinking the Mood, my deep sleep was not as long, and it shows you how long your deep sleep is. And once I started drinking it, my deep sleep time lengthened, which was huge. And so I pretty much have that every night. I love it. I really don't ever miss a night. But I also have tried the Mind. I've tried all of them, but the Mind, I really like that too, earlier in the day, just to help with focus. And I know Dr. Maureen has gotten into some of the science of it with us. And I don't know if y'all have talked about that on here, but how these products, they've shown in studies that it increases your telomere length. Have y'all seen that?
We have.
So I was like, yes, even more reason to drink these every day. So that has been a blessing. And some of my children drink them some too, because I feel completely safe with them drinking those as well.
I do like what you said, Megan, about how you never intended to get into this as a business or to share. But if you think about it, it's no different than if we just tell our friends about a new restaurant or a new hair salon, except with this, we get paid for it. So it's really simple. I mean, the technology itself is simple but complicated, but just sharing it is just basically telling what it's done for you. And then just connecting them with the tool. And it's, you always have help, anybody's willing to reach out anywhere. Like Doria and I aren't even on the same team, but we do a lot of things together. So it's, yeah, I like
It
hearing that.
is. That's something that I've just seen overall in the company, how people are willing to just help each other. And there are so many tools available to us, and just using those tools and telling people, because people need to know about this. So
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Okay, if anyone wants to raise their hand, we'll take questions now for Megan. Let's go to your little bottom. You should be able to, I don't know what it looks like on that side. Should have an option to raise your hand.
Looking.
Or someone can't find it and just want to unmute and just ask your question if that's easier.
There's a question in here. Megan is asking, what is your Instagram page?
Oh yeah, I'll type it in here. I'll type it in the chat. It's Seek Him First Mom. That in there.
I listen to it every day.
Oh. I enjoy it.
Any other questions? Come on, y'all have to have questions for her. So that was cool though that you, so you came in through Dr. Maureen? Is that how you?
Well,
connected?
someone that the Instagram influencer, she sponsored them. And
Okay.
so, but at the time they weren't really building their business. So she was helping anybody that was interested.
Okay, awesome.
So, yes.
Yes, we heard Dr. Maureen last night. We love her.
She's the best.
No questions? Come on, y'all can't be shy. Well, we did have a new product launch last night. We'll kind of go into that if you would like. It is really an amazing technology. So they were able to take bentonite clay and they're making this clay mask that incorporates the redox molecules. And that's a very difficult task to do because you have to have the right balance. Otherwise the molecules won't work or they'll become deactivated. So the little bit of science that I saw about it yesterday or last night, it just is amazing how they came up with this. They worked on it for 3 years. So that's how diligent they are to get the right products that work well and the right balance that are safe, non-toxic products. So it's, they sold out of the first bundle 20 minutes, I think, after they launched. So it's really going to be huge. So be sure, check into that if you'd like, or reach out to the person that invited you to this call and they can give you more information as well.
So Cyndi, what is it? I mean, what does it do for you? What's the benefits of it?
It actually, so I need to go back and look at the video again. So it basically pulls out the impurities in your face. So it attaches, so the impurities you have positive and negative charges on most things. So the bentonite clay with the redox molecules has a charge, and then the impurities in your skin has an opposite charge. So they attract each other. So it pulls everything out, it tightens your skin, closes the pores, and basically starts that cell turnover because of the fact that it has the redox molecules in there. And then of course, after you do that, you apply the Renew 28, which again is a cellular a cellular signaling product. So it again just helps with that cell turnover. So it amplifies everything. It works together synergistically. So I can't wait to try it and see what it does. And people are having amazing results that have already been trying it.
So the alternatives out there in the world right now is people are doing Botox, which is very unhealthy to our skin and our system.
Right.
So, I think a few people had tried this, Dr. Maureen Hayes for one of them, and it tightens up the skin, but it doesn't make it feel like you're, like you can't smile or something like that.
Right.
So we're excited to be able to try it for ourselves.
Yeah, she said her skin was very soft last night when she was telling us about it. It was just very, very soft and smooth.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be huge, I think, with skincare for sure.
Yeah.
And younger people, it's good for acne as well.
All right, Candy, you have a question?
I do. Megan, I have a grandson. He's gonna be 13. He was born with a situation, trying to stay away from, where it was like a tethered spine thing. And he's having to go in now because he's always to go to the bathroom. He's had to use like a catheter most of the time. And so they're going to go in and do like a bladder augmentation to give him a larger bladder and do all this other stuff. Do you feel the Redox liquid or the gel would benefit him more? I can't get my daughter to even try this, but I was just wondering if one of those you feel for him would help with going into his surgery and then after. What's your thoughts on something like that?
Well, I have a friend whose son has had multiple surgeries. He's not even 2, and he was born with a heart condition, and he drinks the liquid. They do use the gel as well. I mean, I feel like both, I feel like both, but for any issues, I told you, our daughter has a hip that's not in the right place. And so for anything like that, any procedures or anything we're going in for, I have her drink extra. Okay. And so I feel like before the procedure, even to be drinking it leading up to it, and then to be drinking it after, I just feel like that would support his body for healing during the whole process. So I really feel like drinking it. So like if I had to choose one or the other, I might say drinking it. But then of course, any wounds that would be on the skin afterwards, the gel would be amazing for that. So that's a hard question because I'd say both.
I was kind of thinking that, but yeah, that's good. I'll have some words with my daughter about this and stuff. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Anyone else have a question for Megan? Well, we got her. I mean, she doesn't have her kids with her. This is a blessing.
This is a party. Let's stay here.
Yeah, she's looking forward to this break. She wants it to be long.
Right.
Well, we appreciate everyone joining, and just get back to the person that invited you to this if you have any other questions that they can answer. We do this every Tuesday night with different speakers. So next week, I think Doria said we have a lady named Nancy will be on to give her testimony. The only week that we won't be doing this that we know of will be May the 23rd. So we will send out a message and let everybody know. We'll just have to skip that week.
Yeah. So I didn't want to host this by myself. So Cyndi, you want to share with them what you'll be doing on May 23rd?
Yes, I have a great opportunity. So I've been invited to fly to corporate at Salt Lake City to tour the facility. We get to meet with the big team, the head of the company and the founders and the whole wonderful crew that we've met in person already. So this will be a great experience just to fly in, to visit, to have any questions that we may have answered. And I'm really excited about doing that. So it's an opportunity that I'm looking forward for. It'll be great.
Great. Well, I think Mary Ann Sides has her hand up too as well. Mary Ann? I thought she had her hand up.
I can't see the whole screen of people.
Yeah, I thought she had her hand up. Mary Ann, did you have your hand up? Mary Ann Sides?
Yes, I did. I'm sorry. I had the wrong hand up. I had something else and I just wanted to make a comment. I wanted to thank you, Doria and Cyndi, for doing this nurse talk. It's a very unique Zoom meeting, and I love it. It's nurse driven, and it generates a lot of enthusiasm. And Megan, your comments were wonderful, and I appreciate everything that you gave us today. This is such a wonderful networking opportunity. I met Doria. I would never have met her. We roomed together in North Carolina, and I would never have met her if it wouldn't be for the SIA business opportunity. So there are wonderful, silver linings in what we have to offer. I had someone on the call, and I think she just dropped off. So I don't see her there. But anyway, I don't know if she's there or not. I don't see her any longer, but I met her. She's a nurse, and I met her at one of the major universities in Chicago. And I was very impressed with her as a nurse. And somehow in the conversations, we exchanged cards, and she came on tonight. I asked her just to come on and to just gain awareness and to know about the company and what we do. And she was on all the way, I think, until the end here. But we're educators. And I think that is one of the things that I'm doing every day as I meet people. Just say, I want you to be aware. Wonderful opportunity that we have, and the breakthrough in health promotion and health and wellness. And so Susan was on, her picture was there most of the time during the hour. So anyway, I introduced her, but she's not there at the moment. But
yeah. Well, we are very honored, Marion, for you to give us that compliment, because, you know, you, I don't want to say I esteem you, but because of your education. I mean, you have your doctorates, right, in nursing?
And my PhD is in education, higher education.
Yeah, right.
Master's degree is in nursing.
Yeah. So we're very honored to get that. I mean, that, I don't know, Cyndi, and she can remark as well. So it really, from that coming from you, is a great honor to receive that. Thank you.
Absolutely. And she was in the military, I believe. Isn't that correct?
I am a retired.
Yeah, absolutely. So that you're very impressive resume for sure, bio.
Yeah.
We appreciate your feedback always.
Yeah. And lastly, I was going to say, so May, we've dictated to be sports month. So we have one day that we don't have anyone coming on, which is what, May 16th. So if you know anybody that is sports minded and has used the product, we'd like to know so we can have them fill in that spot.
And then in June, Doria, we have a medical month with doctors and professionals, medical professionals. So that will be really interesting as well.
Yeah.
So, well, everyone have a great night, and we will hopefully see you next Tuesday night.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Good night. Thanks for all that visit us the first time.